It's really good to be back, and not just to be back, but to start actually feeling a little bit better. So I do appreciate your prayers and your many acts of encouragement. But I want to tell you this. I've come to a conclusion that if I ever get that close to heaven again, I hope he decides to just take me home, because recuperating stinks. You know, to be lying there and, just able to do nothing and looking out the window and wondering what everybody else is doing. But, somebody reminded me that every cloud has a silver lining. And so I searched long and hard to find the silver lining to the last 6 weeks. But I found it. I have never watched As the World Turns. But I found out that Laura, on As the World Churns, has met the man of her dreams. Except that they were separated at birth, and he's actually her brother. So they're going to figure that out over the next 23 years. I also found out that Judge Judy, and this is true, Judge Judy actually has a larger following than Oprah does. I was surprised by that. I don't know about you. And then, of course, I got to follow that interesting story that you all might have heard about from the pulpit. I don't know if it was referenced during my absence or not, but I would have said something had I been here about that crazy preacher down in Florida, Jerry Jones, who decided on 9/11 that he was going to burn the Koran. Now, I don't think that's part of the Great Commission. The Great Commission says, as we go, tell people about Jesus. We have misunderstood and think we have to condemn people, and we don't. We just tell them about God, and he moves into their heart, and once he moves in their heart, he begins to take priority. Now, I know that's true, and we see it happen so many times in our lives and daily experience if we'll just trust the Lord. Now, I'm glad that today is the day that I really sort of get to come back on. It's a great day. It's going to be greater at 6 o'clock tonight. So I know you're going to come back to church tonight. We have a young man who is from Television Talent, America's Got Talent. And he is going to be here this evening to perform for us. His name should be Jason Alexander. And you know why it should be Jason Alexander? Because then you could bill yourself as Jason Alexander the Great. But that's not his name. His name is Jaden Maxwell. Jaden, come and share with us what God has laid on your heart. And folks, he's going to be back tonight at 6 o'clock as a tremendous example of what this sermon is all about. God has gifted you. Use your gift wherever you are. Jaden.
How you doing? Good. Great. Good to be here this morning. My name is Jaden, and he did get it right the second time, even though he made a joke out of it. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, and I just want to share with you a little bit about what's going on tonight and what's going on in my life. I am a 31-year-old illusionist, so let's get that out right away. A lot of people call me a magician. What's the difference between the two? Because a lot of people, what's the difference between an illusionist and a magician? Well, an illusionist, you're actually putting it out there. This is what I do. I create illusions through tricks, stunts, different moves, and that's what I do. They're one and the same, though. Society bills an illusionist as a magician these days as well. But it's a little easier to get into a church when you call yourself an illusionist. Daniel, magic has not always been a bad thing. A lot of people see it as a bad thing. Daniel was proclaimed the chief of magicians in the Bible, and that was actually a good title. Today, as magicians and illusionists, conjurers as they're also called, do their thing, television, media, and all that kind of stuff, it's still an illusionist. So, and I don't claim to create magic. I claim to create illusion. Is magic to me a word? Does it exist? Yes, it does. And what is magic to me? Magic is pure astonishment. The moment when you have that gasp in your heart, that gasp in your soul, like when you pick up the phone and you know that person's on the other line, and you go, "Hey, I was just getting ready to call you." That's pure astonishment. That is magic. When you see a shooting star and you're going down the road and you try to swerve to get back on, and you say, "Wow, I saw that." That was magic. Is not killing yourself and seeing the shooting star. To me, though, God has given me so many different talents to work with, and I'm one of those guys. I've been there, done that. I've been down the road and said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is for me. God had something different, and I totally gave it up a long time ago. Well, actually, it was a few years ago. I gave it up completely to focus on God, and I said, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And I was performing in Stevenson, Alabama, a little small church. A friend of mine asked me to perform up there. They'd been working on some teenagers for a while to try to lead them to the Lord, and they just didn't quite have the teenagers were not understanding the message. And so I said, okay, I'll go up there and I'll do my thing, but I can't do an invitation. And my buddy's like, hey, we'll do the invitation. And I said, great. So went up there and I gave my whole show, and just like lightning, it struck my heart to witness to these kids. And all of them got saved, just like that. They'd been working on them for a while, and it was like, wow. And my buddy goes, hey, did you see what you did? Did you see what you did? And I said, nope, I didn't see anything that I did. I see what God did. And that's where I want to be. I want to see God move. Acts 18:9 says, do not be afraid, but continue speaking, for no one will attack you to harm you, for I have many people in this city that belong to me. I have an opportunity to take my gifts of illusion, of dance, and different stunts and moves all throughout the world, and it's such a blessing to be here in my hometown of Chattanooga, Tennessee, performing. Get a chance to go everywhere and do this, and it's just, again, I love the fact that I can be here in my hometown, wake up and say, I don't have to go 30 minutes, an hour out of my way. It's just right across the street, basically. So, November 6th and 7th, I'll have an opportunity to take it to the 2011 season of America's Got Talent. A lot of people say, hey, you should do this, you should do this. Well, I thought, I don't want to do this. What sets me apart from the other guys that do what I do is I try to reach a younger generation, a younger branch. As a 31-year-old man standing up here, a father of two, I told myself, what would be something that would really get some attention? And honestly, I'm not going for attention, I'm going for your interest. And I thought, well, if I could kind of blend in, that would help out a lot. So I've taken some cool dance moves, some beat music, and some illusion, and some of the coolest stunts that you've ever seen, and put it all into one program. And when the students and kids watch what they're seeing, their jaws just drop, and they go, wow, how in the world did you do that? And I get a chance to tell them my heart. And Genesis 3:13 says that the Lord asked Eve, what is this that you have done? And Eve, the woman, replies, the serpent fooled me, and I ate. Now, how many of you are eating? And how many of you are being fooled? How many of you are being deceived? Every single day we're deceived. You don't see it. It's in the media. It's on TV. It's through people. It's even loved ones. And people ask me, how do you do that? How do you do that? That's the number one question I get asked more than anything. How do you do that? How do you do that? And I probably hear it 23 times a day. And the honest truth to what I do is God has given me the gift. I know how to fool people. What is an illusionist? It's someone that creates illusion. It's someone that fools somebody. And so I kind of, it's weird to think about it. I get paid to fool people.